long holiday, Holy Friday, and if you can't see my face, it's because I am using my cell phone right now because I broke this. This is my trusty ZVE10, and you'll notice that the the stock lens is like way the hell out there. Like sobrang bakat na siya. Like it's really bulging out of the of the lens, and I will talk about what happened right after our usual ad break. Hang on, let me find our usual. There we go.
Sawa ka na ba sa unactivated Windows mo? Well, lucky you! Pinakabago mula sa cdkeyoffers.com. Windows 10 and Windows 11 activation codes. Legit, safe, at pinakamura. Madali lang umorder. Hanapin ang Windows version na gusto mo. Piliin ang preferred payment method. Wala pang 5 minutes, nagsisigi ka na para sa Windows mo. Marami na kaming natulungan.
Dati, sad and depressed ako. But now, I found the love of my life.
Dati, aimless and walang purpose ang life ko. But now, I'm a world-class Zumba instructor.
So, web developer ako and content creator for a YouTube channel. And ngayon, ganun pa rin ako pero activated na yung Windows ko.
Kaya kung naghahanap ka ng legit, mura, at original software,
Check out cdkoffer.com.
Check out cdkoffer.com.
Check out cdkoffer.com.
What's up, Marco? Hang on, let me get chat running. What's up, Marco? All right. So as mentioned, so I need to apologize for the gorilla style shaky cam docu style camera because I'm using my this is actually my cell phone because I usually use our standard camera, the ZVE10, to stream from the shop and to shoot all of my videos. But tragedy struck rather just right now kasi sineset up ko yung light na yan and then natumba yung light and nandito yung camera basically. So yeah, this is how it was set up. So the I set up the light there and then the camera was there and of course the light fell down, hit the camera and the camera went shook and it hit the floor and now wala na, wasak na yung stock lens niya. So this is a ZVE10 which we've had for around 2 years. I think it's hard to tell trying to position the camera, but my cell phone. But I don't know how obvious it is on camera, but here on the in person, wait, let me get the angle right. Here in person, it's the lens is popping out. I think it must have hit here and then parang it forced it out of the frame. So basically, this lens is wala na, kaput. I think it basically took it on the chin, like the old expression. I think the body is okay naman. I can't test it out right now because the lens is the lens will not respond. But I was able to remove the lens naman no problem from the E mount. So I hope that it's just the lens, and it looks like yun nga, it took it on the chin. So nung bumagsak siya, the the lens took the brunt of the impact, and yeah. So press F. I mean, thank you. This stock lens actually served me well for a long time. I don't know a lot about cameras, so it took me a little while before I got a new lens, so a one better suited to portrait mode, which we usually shoot in. And then I got that one, and I got another one from a different brand. Ah, no, sorry, the one that I got was a Sony one that it broke, and I got another one. So yeah, so this is Wawa. Um, the body looks okay, but yeah, so this was a victim of this stream. Oh, sup, Anton? Sup, Rafael James? Press F, man. Yes, it is. Sup, Brand Cancer? Yeah, GG na to. Like, there's no. I don't think the best repair guy. And I mean, to be fair, it was really my fault, or rather, it was that light's fault. That light's fault. I don't know what the heck. Well, I don't know. I've always found it with camera equipment that they are just kind of they easily fall down. I mean, like in a computer, if you mount it properly, and here we have the Mystique 360 of DeepCool, which we'll talk about in a bit, 360 Rad AIO with a gorgeous. I can never remember it's LED or LCD. I think it's LCD. I think LCD is crisper and sharper. This is actually a 640 by 480, if I remember the specs correctly. Um, yes. So fortunately, we do have an extra stock lens because we have two of the ZVE10s. I bought one for the shop, and then I have the one I use at home. Although I'll probably, I mean, it kumbaga fully depreciated na siya. I think it's more than 2 years old na. So pwede na rin. Like it's time I can experiment with prime lens na third party, which is what they. I mean, all the camera guys are like date the body, marry the glass or something. I mean, parang it's like the lens really changes the performance of the camera. Hopefully the body will still be okay. I will check it out when I get home. But moving now to computer stuff, because all of this, everything now I'm using is running on battery. The cell phone, which is a camera, is running on battery. My headset MH670 running on battery, and I'm streaming via my Asus laptop, which is also running on battery. So none of the usual chit chat. Let's get to the points that I want to hit for this video, sorry, for this live stream, live from the shop this Holy Friday. So we have an upcoming build coming up. Upcoming build coming up. We have a build in the works. It's a 13600KF, but more importantly or more exciting is that it is using the Project Zero. Hang on, guys. I noticed that the camera is flipped. Let me try to flip it. There, naka mirror. Yan. So you can better see what from my vantage point. Sup, David? Thank you, David, for upgrading your membership. Really appreciate it. Sup, Noreen? Thank you for joining us again from Oman. I believe the last stream, which was Hardware Sugar, AXA Hardware Sugar. I remember that you were there also. So the more exciting part about this build, I mean, 13600KF, very decent CPU. But the what's a bit unique about this build is that they decided to go with the Project Zero motherboard. So if you'll notice, there are none of the usual power connectors. So just a short explainer. Usually for all motherboards, you have the 24-pin main power here. So that's a motherboard, and then you have the more power stuff here. So usually here on the top right, can you see it on screen? Yeah, top right here, and then top left here. Generally, I don't like touching power stuff when the PC is on because danger. But with the Project Zero, you'll notice that the the gun is the 24 pin, and then gun also is the 8 pin ata to. How many pins is this? Looks like an 8 pin, yes. And they have been moved to the back, so your build will be completely wire free here in front. Well, except if you have an AIO, because still have some of those trailing wires and stuff like that. But the main bulkiness will be gone. And just so we can show it a bit in person, now I'm a little nervous because I have to do this all one-handed because I did not expect to be using my cell phone as the camera, so I didn't bring any stand. So I'm holding it with my left hand, and then only my right hand is free to do the unboxing or whatever. So let's not do a Linus. I mean, I already did a Linus with my camera. But to be fair, it wasn't my fault. I set up the darn light, and then the darn light had a death wish, and it suicided into the floor and hitting the camera on the way down. Anyway, nah, wag naman. Mahal yung taga Ilocano. Medyo mahal tong. Well, actually, I don't know. It's not like super expensive for what you get. I mean, it's definitely. It's not. Like the Project Zero stuff is meant to be consumer level, like mainstream. Not like this monster, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So this is another build we have in the works, 4900K and Maximus Z790 motherboard. I mean, so the cost of this one is prohibitive, but Project Zero stuff is not is I mean, it's not like cheap. I wouldn't say it was cheap, but it is all right. Let me ESD here. This is the new CC360 from DeepCool. The case, and we reviewed it. That's our latest video on the channel. We went live like a day or so ago. It's a good it's an interesting looking case. MATX again. All right. I think I have ESD'd myself, electrostatic discharged enough. Pop up. There. Pop up. Pop up. All right, there we go. I think yes. All right. I don't know how much. Okay. Okay, medyo exag na. All right. I think the audio is back. Thank you for pointing that out. I don't know. Audio went out after taking the mobile out of the plastic. I think that's when I tried to focus using the cell phone. I don't know, maybe I didn't like that because it was working fine before. Anyway, something always goes wrong with the live hardware sugar live streams. So we got a casualty, and then audio cut out. But now we are back and still talking about the Project Zero. So yeah, I didn't realize it, but all of the everything is in the back of the mobile now, so that this will be completely clean. So you got the GPU, you got your SSD, then you got your memory, and hopefully, yeah, it'll be a lot cleaner. Although to be honest, all right, let me just put this aside. I will pack it up properly later, but I don't want it in the way because parang malas ako today. Dami nangyayari. So let me just put that out of the way here. Get back to you. So that was Project Zero. But to be honest, like if you get very competent cable management like the guys do at the shop, I could not do cable management as well as this. I mean, sa unang tingin, wala na rin, it's really hard to see wires, of course. But then you start seeing like here and then of course here. But at first blush, it's actually quite hard to see where the wires go. And then if you're sort of a first timer, if you're a beginner, you are a little late. You should have entered our contest last Christmas where we gave away a very nice ITX gaming computer, like tunay na gaming computer, complete. Wala nang binayaran yung customer. We even paid for the shipping. He was like somewhere in Visayas ata, parang Bohol if I remember correctly. We might have another one this Christmas, but you'll have to wait another 9 months. How much for R7 bundle? I don't know. I mean, I'd have to look up the prices and things like that. And it depends. Do you want like an R7 5800X, an R7? Well, sige, fine. You'd probably want to go with a fifth generation. Yeah, I did stop moving pala. Fifth generation AM4, but do you want to go with an R7 from the fifth generation? I mean, there are a lot of options available. I'd have to please message us on Facebook. We'd have to crunch the numbers. I don't have it off the top of my head. And so we were talking about how the Project Zero is, relatively affordable naman. It's not like you're breaking the bank for that kind of feature. And I think feature is a good description since, it's something out of the ordinary. You're paying a little bit more, but you're getting the potential for a much cleaner build. This one, you're just paying for raw performance. Like nothing holding you back. Like I just want the latest and the greatest. So here we have a 1400K. I hope Vic does not watch this because I had a customer, a long time customer. He has already bought two, hardcore full scale rigs from us. One during the pandemic and then one just last year. But he was asking me if we could get like yung container na parang ganito, na parang silicone wafer type. And then it's medyo random if we can get this. I hope you're not watching this now, Vic. But this customer got the kind of casing na ganito, yung parang silicone wafer type. So this is an i9 4900K, the latest and the greatest that you can get. Where does it say 4900? It doesn't even say 4900K. It says here, yeah, 4900K. So latest and the greatest, very hard to cool actually. There's been a lot of the complaints online. And of course, you need to pair it with a high-end mobile, and nothing comes to mind more high-end. I mean, this is pretty high-end. The Maximus Z790 formula. Let's do a short unboxing, but I will not dare to like super unbox because I am one-handed and I don't want to drop a Maximus Z790. Oh wow, ganda. Sorry. Man, very premium. Wow, look at man, the heat sinks on this are so chunky. And then and it's metal. Parang hindi siya yung usual na parang plastic lang na ano. Parang it's like sorry, wait. Yeah, yeah. Parang it's like metal. It's almost like it's like die cast. And then so there are even labels, retry, start, and flex key on their buttons. They're functional. Damn. I forget how much this is, but this costs a pretty penny. But everything like heat sink clad. So you got your VRMs, you got your chokes, um, buttons on the motherboard itself in case you need to do diagnostics. And long time viewers will know that that is super useful. That really helped me out when my own gigabyte sorry, the case, my old case, sira na yung power button, and so I had to keep using the case buttons. Those are super useful. These do not seem functional, but these knobs or these raised button types, they're just pretty. Man, look at this motherboard, like screaming premium. If you're wondering, well, one nice thing about, sorry, oh, RIP stock lens ZVE10. If you're wondering what is gonna be paired with this, he went with a Helios. So we're gonna be building in that another monster of a case, which we've gotten. We haven't sold a lot of them, the Helios, but we've gotten a lot of people coming in for diagnostics or for cleaning, and they're in Helios cases. It is quite blocky for my personal preference. Like I generally don't want that big of a case on my desk, but kani-kanyang everybody has their own taste. And but this motherboard, I am down with this motherboard. I mean, look at this. Jeez, man. It's like there's like three-fourths of the board you don't even see anymore. It's like it's all clad in heat sinks and whatnot. And you got your usual Q latch. So you notice I press this button, and then the PCIe latch just unlatches, unclasps. Super useful, especially for bulky motherboards. And then if we open up the SSD here, they also have you don't need to screw it in anymore. It's just like a lever basically where it keeps the SSD in place. Some of the little design features of ASUS that have been around for a little while now. Like I remember they were coming out like mid pandemic or something, but I love this Q latch thing, super useful because you're an enthusiast when you've had like a big ass GPU and then you need to somehow wriggle your finger under there to press the release clasp, and that is never fun. And then sometimes you get really desperate, annoyed, frustrated. You're just trying to yank out your GPU from, and that's all sorts of bad. Can damage your motherboard, can damage your GPU. So, but it does get very frustrating when you need to, because basically the GPU is resting here. So how the heck are you supposed to wriggle your finger to engage the release clasp? So this Q-latch system always found very smart. Good on you, ASUS. Man, look, it's just like parang metal yung dating. All right, very nice looking mobile. I do have to say, yeah, that's not. I won't monkey around with this some more because today it's not my day. But I'll put it back properly later. Hindi ko ma hindi ko mabalik yung plastic na maayos. All right. Kinabahan ako actually. But one hand, even with the two hands, I get nervous. But with one-handed, medyo ano. Oh, is there water cooling? Does this allow for water cooling? That was like a block basically. Napatingin tuloy ako. The knob thingies here are not are functional. Oh wow, so you can pipe water through here. Damn. I have to admit my ignorance. I'm not too familiar with the Maximus. Because inisip ko I would never like I would never this is not like on my priority list for upgrades and things like that. But okay, okay. The whole solidity of this particular apparatus makes sense now if it is for water cooling. So pipe in, pipe in. Oh, thanks, Rafael James. Good to know. Damn. Are we going to be doing water cooling on this? Have to ask ano. But actually, that's one of my frustrations. Hindi naman frustrations, but one of the things I'd like to upgrade about the shop that we can actually do custom water cooling na. But it's a bit hard to get into because we need to train the guys properly because water and electronics do not usually mix, and you don't want them mixing unexpectedly. So we have to get, test setup and things like that. Speaking of test setups, or we need to get them PCs that will that they can practice on before that. Speaking of test setups, the guys requested and I finally approved the purchase. So we do PC diagnostics in the shop. Even if your PC is not from us, you can bring it to us and we'll try to troubleshoot the problem. For example, we have two right now. This one failed a mem test. I think the in-win failed the mem test, and then that's a blue screen over there on another computer. Um, but for the longest time, people would come to us with AM5 setups, and the problem was we couldn't troubleshoot them because we didn't have a board and the CPU. So, yung maganda sa we had a lot already of extra equipment piling up for the AM4 platform. So we had motherboards, we had CPUs, but wala pa for AM5. And I was hoping that, occasionally magkaka-RMA issue and then the supplier won't replace it, but we will replace it. But then, so let's say may motherboard CPU, we can keep the motherboard na like we have to replace it. So we have to buy a new motherboard and then it's cheaper if we get also a bundle CPU. We could put that CPU on sale, but then maybe we'll just keep it for the shop. But none of those situations or somebody will send us a mobile for review. Like the BioStar sent us a Z690, I believe, a while back. So I mean there are instances where the extra hardware that the shop can use for diagnostics does pile up. But dito para sa AM5, wala pa kaming nakuha ng opportunity na ganun. So nobody was giving us AM5 stuff. I mean, that sounds spoiled, and in a little way it is. But yeah, so I was kind of waiting, so I didn't want to purchase outright, but eventually the guys were like, "Sir, medyo dumadami na yung request for diagnostics of AM5 systems, and we can't do that properly without a test bench, without hardware that we know is good, shop hardware that we know is good." Because basically parang trial and error yan eh. So I said, fine, okay. So we got an MSI Mobo A620, and then I think we have a 7600 running here. This RAM, so it's DDR5. This RAM actually, we did get this for free. I mean, King Bank sent it to us for review, and actually it's pretty good RAM. We still have sometimes issues with DDR5. It's not as stable as DDR4, and but the DDR5, itong King Bank is running surprisingly well without any issues. Oh, thank you, Noreen, for buying from us. I didn't realize that a we had a build for you coming up. Yes, and Russell and Rocky are pretty good. Uh, the most expensive PC part that I've accidentally broken. To be fair, like wala namang like I don't have any CPU. I mean the CPU when you're installing it in the pins, it's very easy to for that to become an issue. I don't have any stories like that, to be honest. And I will be. I mean, I would make it kwento naman kung nangyari yun. I mean, I don't think I'm the world's best builder. I am barely above competent, but I can generally get the things in where they're supposed to be in without breaking them. Um, I my brother Rafael had a CPU issue before. What's the most expensive PC part I've ever broken? Actually, that's why I don't trust myself to do the customer builds. I think in our 5 years or so of operation, more than five na ba, I have helped in building them, but I have never done it like solo flight. I don't trust myself with the components of the customer. Like I can troubleshoot a GPU, I can, remove stuff and in a pinch like install a CPU. But I'm always more comfortable kung ako nagbayad, like it's my component. So if I screw up, it's on me, right? Instead of like a customer paid for it, and then of course we would replace it, but then um sayang naman yung money out from the shop. So actually, I can't think of any PC part that I've outright broken. Like yun nga, na snap yung GPU, God knows. CPU, like the pins are bent or things like that. Wala pa naman. Ah. I maintain that's not my fault. I maintain that's the bloody lights fault. But yeah, I mean R.I.P. man. I mean, you know you don't think it's your last day, but then you just come in, try to do your job, and then bang, it's gone. This is our test bench. Actually, I'm gonna shoot a little bit more footage of the Mystique 360 after this live stream. So I asked the guys to just assemble it with whatever parts we have. I think this is. I don't want to say it's a 730. Wait, let me look it up here. I don't know why we would have a 730 in a test bench, but hang on, let me. I'm looking it up now. Anong CPU to? But yeah, it's not a performance GPU. It's just something that they stuck in there. One of our extras. B550M. Hmm. Okay, hang on. It is a 1650 actually. Oh, so decent naman. So maybe it's like a 730 or something. 1650 na Asus. I don't remember that Asus sent us something like this for review. I don't know why we have an extra 1650 na Asus. It's just one of life's mysteries. I mean, as the shop gets older and older, I I'm constantly amazed with the things that we have here na nagulat na lang ako. On the other hand, like I bought so shout out to Anton. He is the owner of Akasha Detailers, which I super loved. The care and attention that they put to my 10-year-old car, my CRZ. And so one of the things that I made a mental note of when I came into the shop because I bought some car shampoo from him. And then the guys were like, it's just in the back, it's just in the back. And I'm looking in the back and I'm like, I can't find the car shampoo. So that's that's one of the things I will need to look for a bit later. But yeah, I'm super love the hang on, I'll throw up the YouTube the Facebook link here. Super grabe yung attention to detail. It looks so good after it looked even better than new after the detailing. So hang on. Not a sponsored post, but just like with our PC reviews, it is something that I personally tried and it is yeah, super good. Hang on. I'm looking it up on Facebook, but I don't know why the is not naman share page or something Facebook. Oop. Wait, huh? So that I can post it. Yeah, so I bought and so Anton was nice enough to give me their not give me, sorry, to allow me to purchase the car shampoo because it's a special car shampoo that they really use for their own detailing. Eh, yun nga. And then the guys were like, yeah, it's in the back. And I'm like, where is the back? Where in the back? Sorry, I can't for some reason. Hang on, okay, I'm just gonna rest my. Okay, no, I actually don't like showing my face. I'm trying to get the Facebook link, but I'm on the page, but it won't give me the URL because as usual, hi nako Facebook. Okay, the URL is staying the same, but I'm already on the Akasha Detailer page. Hmm. Sorry, just search na lang on Facebook Akasha Detailer. I don't know why it's not giving me the URL. But yeah, super recommended. The desks. These are actually custom desks. So we had this made. My brother Rafael took care of it. May Suki siya. So they're a pair. So both of these were custom made. These came from our old shop pa in Giho. So we've had 3 shops already. One was a super small closet in Buendia, like super small. Our supply room now there in the back is bigger pa than the first shop that we started out in. Then we moved to Giho, which was a much larger space. We splurged a little, got custom desks for the bills and things like that. The shelves in the back are also custom, so we wanted wooden. We wanted, something na like a workman desk na, it looks solid, good quality, but yung wood talaga. Um, and yeah, so these are custom. And then actually, like the shop was really, there's too much stuff in the shop. So these are customers, like those are paid for already. Then we added another guy, Rocky the programmer, now comes into the shop. That's where we keep the secondhand stuff. So this is a very cluttered look. One of the things I wanted for a shop when I opened up a shop was hindi siya cluttered. Kasi ganun yung look nung karamihan ng mga PC shops. You go to Gilmore or something, like dami nakakalat, dami nakano. I really didn't like that look. So we were able to achieve it at Giho and in here. But the problem is over time, dami talaga naiipon na stuff. So like my dream sana, I love the location here. There's excellent parking. It's easy to reach on Chino Roses. Walang foot traffic. Like, kailangan mo sadyain talaga dumaan dito. But a lot of our customers find us from YouTube and things like that. So, or yeah, our online activities. So they are happy to come out here, especially when there's parking naman. So my dream for this place is we keep the same location and we keep this unit where we are in now, but I get a ground unit also, and yan yung forward facing. The ground unit, it would be super clean, just tables, and that's where you would see builds being done and diagnostics, but all of the back end stuff like the inventory, yeah, the inventory, basically magiging back end space na to where there's inventory and things like that. But getting a ground floor space here also still costs money. So that is something we need to save up for. Thank you for patronizing our secondhand parts list. Super, super useful. I don't think we don't have one on stock. If you message us, we can inquire with our suppliers. I don't know, hindi ko maalala off the top of my head. So the last kind of thing, so we have bonkers builds coming up with the Maximus, oops, and the Project Zero. Yeah, let's try not to break anything. The Maximus actually is going with a 4070 Super, I think, and an LT720. I'll be curious if the LT720 can handle it. The LT720 is a good cooler, but the 4900K, no, sorry. That pile is for the Project Zero build. The pile for the Maximus build is over there with the Helios, but I don't see what the cooler is and stuff like that. I'd have to look it up. All right. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about for this stream was because I want to go home and I want to check if my camera still works. Because I do have a portrait lens from Samyang or something. Yes. It should work fine, right? Like, cross my fingers. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about for this stream was the Mystique 360. We've already done benchmarking on this thing, and it basically blew away any of the other 360 MMRAD AIOs that we pitted against it. The screen is very sharp. Um, it's I have an AK620 digital at home, which is the air cooler of DeepCool with the display. DeepCool is making a big push for having more of these the digital lineup, yung kita mo at a glance yung basic specs ng computer mo. And I am all for it. It is super useful that you don't need to bring up anything sa on the software side, you don't need to scroll through anything. Lingon ko lang sa computer mo, kita mo kaagad how much percent of the CPU is being used and what the temperature is. I especially like it when I see when the computer is rendering, or I'm doing a lot of editing work now, because Rocky the programmer also started making content, and then Ren has to edit his stuff, and then so she sometimes can't get around anymore to my stuff. So I've been doing a lot of editing again on my own, and yeah, just i- like intellectually, I know when it renders, mag 100% CPU load yan, but I'm curious like anong temperature siya pumapalo, and just even yung playback actually is super taxing, and for me that's what's more important than rendering speed, yung fast playback speed, kasi ang hirap mag-edit kung um ang hirap pa rin mag-edit if the playback is not smooth. Hang on, I'll just answer this question from Nayu Art. Personally, for me, I would so gaming PC, I would just go with AM4. Price is very good now. DDR4 is rock, very solid, very stable. Basically with the AM4 you know what you're getting. Kahit end of life na siya in the sense na wala nang mas mataas na generation, hanggang 5000 series na lang yung AM4, you can get a lot of value. That you get a 5800X 3D setup with a good GPU that will last you 3 or 4 years easy on any game that you want to run. And that is also what I did when I built a new PC earlier last year. I think mga May ata yun. I actually went with a Ryzen 7 3700X, and then I recently upgraded December last year to an R9 5900X. Not so much for gaming, but again for editing performance, and it is so smooth na yung playback. Medyo hirap yung 3700X videos na in-edit ko. And I'm not even that heavy an editor. I just really want smooth playback, but it's not like I stack multiple text, multiple masks, multiple effects. I'm not that creative and that knowledgeable an editor. But the 5900X really helped me with the playback, sobrang smooth na ng playback. So I myself, I'm on an AM4 platform. I think it still has a lot of good value. I mentioned so in the video I did at the start of the year, like what upgrades can you expect and should you wait? What new hardware can you expect this year and should you wait? Personally, I think that the AM4 platform is still an excellent platform. Very good value for money ngayon. You get one na medyo high end and it will last you 3 or 4 years easy. Yeah. The AM5 has been going down in price, but it's hard to beat the price to performance of AM4. AM5, of course, you have the 7800X 3D. It's maybe like 18,000, I think, roughly. I can't quite remember. There's a price. We came out with a price watch episode where you can check out all the latest prices. But I do not recall what so I don't remember exactly magkano yung 7800X 3D. Yun nga, may yung usual price for a high-end PC. So you can go to AM5, but for me, value for money, hirap pa rin talunin yung AM4 at this point, where we are now. So yeah, this is the Mystique 360. Um, no RGB on the fans, but the fans look very beefy. These are F12 SE, so the newest version, the newest stock fans from DeepCool. The performance is very good. We've tried it out already. I'm just in the shop more now to play around with the software because DeepCool, actually, I was talking with DeepCool and they were like, we really delayed the release of the Mystique to get the software like super easy to um understand. I mean, super easy to play around, monkey around with the software. I'm wondering, how do you like load? Because I mean, you can load voltage mode, system monitoring core data, but you can also load the GIFs and stuff. There, media mode, and then you can just upload the GIF there. Okay, so super straightforward. All right, so I will leave you guys now to your long holiday. Thank you for spending a bit of time with me here at the shop. A bit of a messy shop nowadays, not something I'm proud of. Hang on, let me sit down. Oh, so um, this is kind of how we roll for the YouTube productions. I mean, something doesn't go according to plan, and we just need backup. So fortunately, we have a backup here with my cell phone. The camera hopefully still works. I'll post about it later. Yeah, so we are closed today, so please don't come in, but we are open tomorrow and Sunday. So tuloy-tuloy na, parang regular work schedule na Saturday, Sunday. And we have a video dropping tomorrow, which the YouTube members have already been watching since yesterday. And that's the one where I talk about like my personal brand preferences and just generally the preferences I have for computers. Like I want everything wireless as much as possible. I don't there's an underrated customization option that I don't think a lot of people do, but which I think adds a lot of character to your builds. So that video will be made public tomorrow. And on Monday siguro yung factory tool ng DeepCore. Factory tour ng DeepCool. That's still on my to edit list. Actually, I still need to shoot the A roll. Don't tell DeepCool. I mean, I had that was a super fun trip. We're actually gonna do two videos on that. The first one is medyo mainstream, and then the second one is kind of like behind the scenes where I talk about more. Like the first one is really about the factory. The second one is like behind the scenes in general, like what is that kind of trip? Why did I get sent on it? Who was I with on that trip? And just generally things like that. So, man, there's a really weird angle. It's like you can see my hand and oh, okay. Thanks, Homer. Actually, yung naisip ko ngayon, like on the way to the shop, like iniisip ko to do because we have 4 deliverables and live streams for the our sponsor CDK. And then what is that better? Oh, it's like because my arm starting to hurt na. So inisip ko, I can do what kasi yung live from the shop, I like doing it na walang tao kasi naiilang ako when people see me live streaming, like customers are coming in and they see me live streaming. It's just feels a little weird. Although I have done it before on normal days and yeah, customers do come in. Sometimes, they say hi on camera. Or sometimes like the shop is closed. This happened more often in Giho. The shop will be closed, and I'm doing my live stream or I'm shooting, and it suddenly may dadating. And yeah, so they pop up in the video or the live stream. But I was thinking that maybe this month I'll experiment. Friday night, starting 10:30, pwede magtanong. And then mga 11:45, I will sign off. And then I will sign on again 12:01 Saturday to do a live from the shop. So tuloy-tuloy yung shoot live from the shop. I mean, I'll be shooting at the shop, a live stream from like 10:30 in the evening on a Friday night all the way up to like 1 a.m. or so on Saturday. And then I just need to break briefly para dalawang streams yun, one on Friday and then one on Saturday. So I think that might be kind of fun um to do like an all night, hindi naman all nighter, but just like a late night here at the shop. I thought that might be fun to do. So yeah, maybe we'll do it this month. I hope to be able to save up for more branches. I don't we haven't really identified necessarily kung saan. But yeah, we would like to expand north and south. But to be honest, running a shop eats up money. Parang nagsusunog ka lang ng pera. So we need to save up a bit more before we can put up branches. Is the 7900 GRE CPU solid? What's a GRE? What's up, Alistair? I'm trying to think kasi yung CPU, well, that is the for AMD. But what's a GRE? 7900 GRE? Oh, it's a GPU. Sorry, I'm not even familiar with this model. Oh, it just came out. I'm looking like at hardware unboxed and things like that. I will admit ignorance. I am not familiar with the man. My camera is super dirty. I need to clean this. Like the lens here on my Pixel 7. I don't know. I haven't heard much about it. I haven't seen any of the reviews. We haven't had any here at the shop, so I couldn't say from personal experience. Although usually AMD has nothing that can touch the pinaka high end ng Nvidia. So that's the 4090. I don't know. I would be super surprised if oh sorry, the 7900 GRE launched July 27, 2023. No, I don't think it's oh, but there's a new version that came out like with memory overclocking. Sorry, I not too familiar with this model. Um but parang yung tinatapat sa kanya is the 7900 XT. So definitely not the 4090. In general, AMD has nothing that can surpass the pinaka top of the line ni Nvidia. So 4090 is still king of the hill as far as I know. And AMD has been very explicit that they're not even trying to dethrone Nvidia from that crown. They're just like, well, we'll try to do our best and aim for the high end to mid range, but the pinaka high end, AMD has ceded that ground. Ah, 600K, okay naman. Like for a little bit more in the budget, I think you can get like a 13600K or even a 14600K. The 12600K, it's good for work. That'll be good enough for work. For gaming, I guess yung GPU naman yung mas consideration. So, yes, I would say that's fine. Try to get it at a good price and then spend a bit more on the GPU. I myself used to use an i5 4690K with a 3080, and I'm still able to play Cyberpunk. So, for games talaga, the GPU isn't as important as the GPU. All right. So, thanks everyone for joining me for on this live stream. RIP once again to my trusty ZVE10. You have served me well. Hopefully the body is still intact. And yeah, enjoy the long weekend. Please do tune into our video tomorrow. And then the factory tour on Monday. Enjoy the rest of the long weekend.